Yeah, I noticed this little fellow on my little altar puja table this morning, and it's Nandi the bull. This is a very lovely one from India, and I know it was Chinese New Year last week, and the ox, which is also maybe the bull, and I just thought I will show you this lovely little animal. And you get these they're all over India, but particularly in the South India, I think there's more. They tend to be more of these. Nandi the bull, lovely. And they're always with a lingam as well. And I like this kind of quality of the bull, the ox, where they're steady and they're quiet. And you know how cows are as well. They're just such gentle and lovely creatures. And my, not related, but maybe it is. I just had a silly idea. So my theme today is move and be moved. So that kind of feeling of movement, emotion, energy. And then I realised there is a link. I feel a bit embarrassed to say move and be moved. And with that, I think I better put the bell and just put a stop to that silliness. So move and be moved today. Okay. So we come to standing. We've got a cow or bull theme today. So lift the shoulders up, breathing in, and out through the mouth. Release, breathing in. Yeah, feet should be a bit further apart. I don't know why I put them together so quickly. Breathing in. Hold for a second, and out through the mouth. Let the shoulders just drop. Release them, breathing in. Notice if you're locking your knees, unlock them. So in the shoulder, you want to have kind of that tension in, and then release. Out from the mouth. Let's do one more of those, just to really squeeze that little bit of surface tension so we can arrive here. Moving and be moved. So we're going to roll the shoulders back a few times. We're going to let the shoulders, just starting with the shoulders, so nothing with the arms, nothing with the elbows, they're just heavy. It's just the shoulders lifting and rolling back. And the knees are kind of joining in a little bit, that's all right. And you find actually the arms want to kind of get a bit involved. So then you can let the elbows start lifting, and we're going to let ourselves be moved by the breath. So it's almost becomes so easy to lift the arms up high. And we're actually not even lifting them. We're not lifting the arms. You can imagine, actually, it's a lovely way of describing this, coming from more of the Alexander technique, is thinking about, the fingernails of the fingertips lifting the arms. This is where the breath is lifting, the fingertips are lifting up. Inhaling, exhaling. One more, right around, big circle. Open up the wings. Good. And then we just take the hands in front and behind just to loosen up the arms and shoulders. Clapping in front and behind. We're going to wake up to the moment in which we are being moved. And then we're going to roll the shoulders back just to balance that out. Forwards. We went backwards, so now we go forwards. Breathing in and out, bending the knees. So we're just kind of, rolling them. Leave the arms floppy. It's just the shoulders to begin. Letting the knees join in. And then letting the elbows lift. Yeah, it's kind of like, opening up the back. Opening up the wings, the back of the wings now. Or maybe it's a feeling of like diving. That's what I like, this feeling of diving in. Bringing the arms forwards. Keeping those knees bending so the rest of the body's joining in. One more time around. Good. And then we're just going to come into a twist. So we're going to loosen this up again. Feet a bit wider apart. Bending the knees. Let the arms just swing around the body. See if you can just turn to look right behind you. If you're really doing quite a big turn here, then make sure you notice I'm coming up on the toe to the opposite, the way I'm turning. So I'm turning to the left, my right toe, and I'm that helps me to protect my ankles a little bit, as well as this bend in the knees as we face forward. Let the arms be super heavy, and then swing around, let the backs of the hands go smack and pop into the lower back area. Giving yourself a little stimulation there. Yeah, we're going to take a bit of time here just to loosen. Let ourselves be moved just by that centrifugal kind of force there. And then why not have the treats? Yeah. And how about some releasing breaths out through the mouth, maybe a sigh, pummeling that lower back with the backs of the hands. Out through the mouth. Make some sound, like a nice sigh going from high to low. It just feels more satisfying. Take up those knuckles and let's get that energy dispersed through the body. Energy which stimulates movement or movement, as I was saying. It's good to laugh at oneself, definitely. And then we take those fingers to the chest area. Let's stimulate the whole chest, opening up. Maybe we've felt a bit stuck recently. So get around our emotions. Maybe they feel a bit strong. But in our practice, when we're really focusing on the present, we can afford to allow those emotions in. We can allow them to move us and be moved by them. And let's take these brain buttons as well. So some good energy points here. First finger and the thumb, just in these little dips below the collarbone rather than above. And we're just kind of taking them into those little dips. You can just move your fingers around and find them and then just stimulate them. They're kind of in the dip, and we're just kind of almost drawing little circles there. And just that for a few seconds. This is coming from Brain Gym, which I think is really good. And also with Brain Gym, just give that a little bit of a rub afterwards, because they can be a bit pointy, those energy points. And then we're going to bring the sides of the feet together. Let's give ourselves another energy boost, breathing in. Interlink the fingers. Hold that breath in, lift the heels off the ground, squeeze the arms either side of the head, squeeze the legs together, so the sides of the feet together, and then breathing out softly through the nostrils. Lower the heels down slowly to the ground. Hands are coming down slowly, softly. So we get these very distinct opposites. Inhaling strong, dynamic, kind of, this is very, it's like chosen and purposeful tension. We're holding that. So that when we release, the dispersal of the energy, the battery, and the light, breathing out, kind of really feeling that in the body as the heels come down to the ground. One more of those, breathing in. Dynamic, held, lift the heels high off the ground, squeeze the arms together, squeeze the legs together, hold the breath in, and then out through the nostrils slowly. This is about being able to control the breath in a steady stream. So it's very soft though. Good, just coming down to earth again. And then again, part of the Brain Gym, this cross-lateral motion, lifting the knee, meeting it with the opposite hand, keeping the body upright all the time, and even allowing a little smile to come to your face. You could try it, and then if you don't like it, you can just drop it. That's fine. It's always worth trying these things. It's noticing how it feels. And then extending the leg out, meeting it with the opposite hand. So we're just getting the brain and body here and now, arriving here together in this moment. And so what I'm trying to do is keep us present and aware, keeping us here in this moment, and just reminding us to notice where our mind is going. So we're taking the left arm out to the side and the opposite arm is coming over the head. And just notice that openness that comes again in the side body. Good. Front of the shoulder, the armpit there. Good. Taking that leg right out to the side. Breathing, warming, limbering. Everything is becoming limber and available to us. Yeah, give the hands a little shake. Give the legs a little shake. To shake, disperse the energy out. And we'll finish the warming and the limbering with a ha. So feet hips apart, parallel with the feet. Inhaling, stretch up, look up even, and then out through the mouth. Let the arms swing. Let's just blow out anything that's kind of getting a bit sticky or clingy. Breathing in and out through the mouth. Good, let the arms swing. Let's try that one more time. Breathing in and out through the mouth. Good. We're going to come into a triangle. So let's come to the front of the mat or working area, whatever you're doing here. Feet, again, check them. Have a look, lift the toes, place them down. Lift the heels, place them down. Awareness in the feet, weight onto the left foot. We're going to step back with the right. One of your leg lengths is the length between the feet, and they're at a right angle to each other. Left foot pointing forwards, right foot pointing at a right angle. Square the hips, have a little sway either side. Breathing in, lift the arms up. Breathing out, bring the arms down to shoulder height. Breathing in, open the chest. It's like a real open gesture. And then as you breathe out, reaching over to the left, you can watch that left hand as it reaches over and down and meets the left leg. Remind that as you make contact to soften the knee, and then reaching up with the right hand up to the ceiling and noticing how that right shoulder sits back. And to help that sit back, we kind of press the left shoulder forward a little bit. Because if you just take the right shoulder back, it's kind of tricky. Whereas can you see that kind of movement? So often the shoulder wants to sit here by the shoulder. If we just take the left shoulder forwards, it's got more space. The right shoulder's got more space to go back. And then this whole openness is encouraged across the chest, and you're able to look up at the right fingers much easier. The neck hasn't got to do so much, just softening the knees, reminding you not to lock. Soften, feel the feet, wiggle the toes, breathe deeply. Hold the right sides getting extended. Try not to go down too low. I want to keep this, the shoulders over each other rather than the shoulder coming forwards. Use the inhale to come up. Exhaling, lower the arms down. Bend into the right knee and bring yourself back to the front of the mat. Let's try and find this kind of grace in our movements. Allowing ourselves to be moved with the breath. Taking the weight onto the right foot, step back with the left. Yeah, trusting our body a little bit more. Just the hips side to side, find that central point. Breathe in, lift the arms up, lift the chest, lengthen the body. Breathing out, bring the arms down to shoulder height. Breathing in, open gesture, open heart, open hands. Breathing out, reaching over to the right, watch it as it goes over and down. Make contact with the leg, soften the knee. So soften is not bent. And we can take that right shoulder forwards slightly so that the left shoulder can sit back. And you can look up at those left fingers, reaching up to the ceiling. Let me get this little twist in here as well, which is really a lovely little bit of icing on the cake of triangle, if you like. This little twist, this chest turning towards the ceiling, opening. This openness that occurs, keeping the left shoulder down away from the ear. And it's much easier if you get that twist happening there. Otherwise, the shoulder's sitting in a kind of much more hunched position. Breathe deeply. Use the inhale to come up, maybe bending the right knee to soften that. And lower the arms slowly down on the out breath, bending for the left knee and coming back to the front of the mat. Just take a moment there. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to, again, continue to work on the side body. All the emotions in the side. So we're going to come into a peaceful warrior. So again, weight on the left, and we're going to step back, a bigger step with the right foot. So if you can get that big step, getting a bit more balance in our movements. Maybe you want to shuffle it back a bit more. But this is not a right angle. The right toe is pointing slightly forwards. But we get the hips level again, not kind of out of line, but level. And the body's lifting up out of these legs. Breathing in, lift the arms up. We're starting with warrior 2 to move into peaceful warrior. Breathing out, arms to shoulder height, but drop the shoulders down. Back of the neck is long. Breathing out, bending into the left knee. Finding that as that knee comes forward, you're putting equal emphasis into the back, the back edge of the right foot and the back heel. And also emphasis on opening here across the hips, opening between the fingertips. This kind of opening, expanding in all directions. Back of the neck long here in the midsection. And then coming into peaceful, breathing in and breathing out, reaching back with the right hand as far as you can, then down. And as the right arm goes down, the left arm goes up. It's just easy, it's simple. Then turn the left hand in space, so it's going to face backwards being the back of the mat, and reaching over the body. So we're not reaching in front of the body, but over. So if you're looking up, your neck is okay to do so. You should be able to see the ceiling on the inside of that arm. don't let that front knee front knee bend, lose that front knee bend. So this is what often happen. You straighten the front leg. Don't let that happen. Try and keep that nice, strong warrior. And what will help that is if you keep this really strong, the whole of this right leg, particularly that right buttock. So you can lean quite heavily onto this leg. And then you get this beautiful ability to arch and arc. Now use the inhale to come back into warrior. Exhale, sink into this for a second. Don't forget the weight in the back foot. Inhale, standing tall. Exhale, lower the arms down. Bend into the right knee and come back to the front of the mat. Give those legs a little bit of a wiggle, just to even them out. And then we're going to move to the right. So right foot is landed and grounded, and we're going to send the left foot back. Big step. Let's get the angle of the feet, so that's slightly pointing forward with the left toes. Also the angle of the hips, the body is coming up out of the hips. Inhale, lift the arms up, lift the chest. Exhaling, bring the arms down to shoulder height. Breathing in. Expand the fingers away from each other. Breathing out. Your right knee is going forwards, and with equal emphasis, the back of the left foot. So they're moving away from each other in space. Fingers moving away from each other. Feet moving away from each other, and knee. Head moving away, neck, crown. Everything is moving away from the center. Now we're going to come into peaceful. Breathing in and breathing out, reaching back with the left hand and down. Right arm goes up into the skies. Turn the right hand to face the back of the mat, reaching over the body. Keep that bend in the right knee and the front knee. Strong back leg to support your weight, if you like, or some of your weight. Because you're also reaching back, looking up at the ceiling with your eyes. Good. Breathe. Expand. Use the inhale to come back to warrior two. Exhale, sink into that for a second. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, lower the arms down slowly, softly. They're floating down. Being moved, bending into the left knee and coming back to the front of the mat. Just wriggle the legs a little bit. I think it'd be nice to have restoring posture. So we're going to come into a ragdoll. So we're going to just have the, again, reset, just check your feet, lift the toes, place them down. Soften the knees. Feel the weight of the head, so the chin's coming to the chest, the arms are hanging forwards, maybe the hands are on the thighs, sliding down. Make it very easy. They're sliding down off the knees, hanging off the body, knees are slightly bent, and let the whole body hang. Alternatively, of course, you can rest your elbows on your knees if it feels too much weight hanging forwards. And let's just loosen that neck. Remind the neck to let go by turning the head as if you're saying no. Turn the head. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Breathe in through the nostrils. Another one of those lovely sighs, swooping sighs. Yeah. Allow your breath to move and be moved. Good. So let's just place our focus of attention on the base of the spine. See if you can really feel that space. And feel almost as a light or the sunshine on the base of the spine. And it's just stimulating that growth, that wanting to unfurl, wanting to grow up to the skies. And it's traveling up through the central system, up through the spine, right to the top of the head, to the crown, and lifting, 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 lifting all the time. So we're also extending in both directions, the crown lifting, the feet sinking into the ground, you know, feeling both directions. Okay, let's come into we're going to come from the back of the mat now. Warrior, another warrior, warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. So put the feet in a little V shape. Make sure there's space between the heels there. Weight on the left foot. Going to take a step forward with the right. Big step. And then this is the important bit. It's the tricky bit sometimes, is to get both the hips facing forwards, which means the right hip comes back. You know, these things need to work together, and the left hip goes forwards, pushing into that back heel. Good. Now take the hands forwards. I'm going to try this different, slightly different version. Bending in the right knee, making sure it's hovering above the ankle, no further forward than that, and the body staying upwards. So don't let this be coming forwards, the body coming forwards with the hands. Drop the head down. Open your chest on the inhale. Take the fingers back. Exhaling, take the arms forward. Drop the head down, looking down at that knee. So breathing in. Both feet very firmly planted, but without gripping. Breathing out, bring the arms forward, dropping the head to look down. Also just keep checking. Where's my hips in space? Can I make a little bit more of an adjustment? The right hip going back. One more here. Inhaling, opening up. So the heart is flying upwards. Exhaling, bringing the arms forwards. And drop the hands down. Bend into the right knee so you can spring the back of the mat. And you just give the legs a little shake. Give the shoulders a shake here. Maybe let some sound out. Good. Weight on the right foot. Big step forward with the left. Okay, now we're here. Let's take the right hip forward, left hip back. Strong back leg, push into that heel. Also think about the position of the body. This is hard because your bottom wants to stick out here and make a little curve. We really want to try and point the tail down and make the belly strong. Take the arms forward again, bending the left knee. It's hovering above the left ankle, pushing into that back heel. Again, that tension between these two things, that dynamic rather. Inhaling, opening up the chest, looking up, opening, heart flying upwards, exhaling. We're really taking the fingers forwards as well. Drop the head down, so we're opening the back of the neck and between the shoulder blades. So move in time with your breath. Allow your body to be moved by your breath, by your intention. And the breath is just making this so easy. The fingertips are just moving through space, just like soft feathers. So there is dynamic, but there's softness in this as well. See if you can connect to that softness. One more. Breathing in. It's like this, the heart wants to just lift up out of your chest, and then breathing out. Drop the arms down, bend into the left knee, push forwards, and then come back. Give the legs a little shake. Good. I'm going to come into a wide leg position now. Feet parallel into a wide leg forward bend, and give the shoulders some attention. So interlink the fingers behind the back. Just let the arms rest there, nice and relaxed. Breathing in. Lift the gaze, lift the chest, and take the chest forwards. This is really leading with the chest. Soften the knees slightly. Now you find your belly is strong to support the back here as you come forward slowly, breathing in and out the whole time. Let the hands rest on the back though. And just taking the body forwards. So you're getting a nice bit of stretch on the backs of the legs. Just checking you're not locking your knees. And let the hands come away from the back. And just let them fall into space. So there's not a pushing here, there's just letting the arms fall into space. And the more we can kind of get that forward bend going, the easier it will be, and there's more space for the arms there. So we're creating space in the shoulders, particularly the front of the shoulders, in a very problematical kind of area. Because it gets so short, the front of the shoulders get so short, and the chest kind of gets very kind of constricted. So we're challenging that and helping the body come into more of an equilibrium. Good, breathe. Now bring the hands still interlinked to the center of the back, so you find that center point, and then we just draw a circle on our back with our hands clockwise again. Soften the knees slightly, make that a bit easier. And then we rotate in the opposite direction, anti-clockwise, still with the hands together, and let ourselves slowly uncurl again to standing, keeping the knees slightly bent. Slowly come to standing, still doing those circles on the back, just bringing ease into the back. Okay, then we're going to turn the feet out slightly. Yes, I think it's definitely a good day for a goddess. So bring the hands together. Bend the knees. The knees are coming out to the side. We're not sticking the bottom out and taking the chest forward. We're keeping the chest above the hips. So we're keeping the body upright. Pressing the palms together. And as the palms press together, have a sense of, rather than kind of taking the chest back, lift the chest towards the palms and the shoulders sit back. So we get this very strong frame here, you know, very strong, but everything is working with each other. We're not kind of pushing, over pushing. It's knowing about how much. This is very much, you're thinking about Taoism. There's no force. It's not about force. The Wu-ve is about there's effort there. There's effort there, but it's kind of going with the natural flow. But we have to kind of remove the tension to be able to even have an idea about that, about the now. Good, coming up and down. Let's see if we can come into this fierce goddess. Breathing in. Good, okay, take a moment to gather yourself again. So tongue is out the mouth. Rasping sound. So you really need to get in that back of that throat, really get that kind of vibrating. And the eyes super wide, so we're really expressing everything. So good for us. Self-expression, breathing in. Sometimes we just need to roar, right? Breathing in. Maybe this is releasing something that might have made us feel a bit stuck. So whatever emotions, feelings that are going on, just gather them all up. One final roar, so we can let them burn up. A bit of burning there. Good. Purifying fire, breathing in. Good, that felt great. And we're just going to bring the feet together. Again, give the legs a shake, and give the shoulders a shake, and make some sound. Please stay on the ground, just kind of doing the knees and shoulders. It's so fun to make that sound. Okay. So we're going to just stand for a second and just find our balance. So just lift the toes, place them down. Make sure the feet and hips are apart, parallel. Just check that. Soften the knees. Think about your position. We'll have a little moment of mountain Tadasana. So think about the position of your pelvis, like tilt here, pointing the tailbone down. It's not tucking the tailbone under. That's a bit too strong. It's not pushing the hips forward. It's a slightly more subtle movement. And what you'll feel if it feels balanced is you'll feel thighs, the quads slightly kind of tighten or get strong. That's a better way of putting it. Engage better, even so, and also an engagement in the abdominals. Then you know, okay, that's a good balance. And then we know this is supported. And it's nice and open too. And then to also lengthen the front, we lift the chest. So everything is lengthening, the heels and the feet are pushing down into the ground. Let the arms just rest at the sides, maybe lift the shoulders, roll them back. So we get this feeling of the arms hanging off the shoulders. The chest is proud. Front ear is open, soft knees, and the back of the neck is long. So it's a slight tuck in with the chin and a lift in the back of the neck. And once we found this, it's a slight, to make that, exaggerate that, the arms, you lift, taking the chest forwards, dropping the shoulders down, reaching towards the ground with your fingers. And then just relax and soften it slightly, but still with that feeling. And then close the eyes. Also have a sense of the face being level. We often hold our head in a certain way. So just moving it slightly, finding a point where it feels like, yeah, that's level. And feel that the crown is level to the ceiling or the skies. Good. Just standing there for a moment. Close your eyes. Take your focus inwards for a second. It's a really useful tool is sometimes, even for a moment, close your eyes. Check in with yourself, reconnect with yourself, feel your feet on the ground. Breathe in, through the nostrils, out through the mouth. Just feel yourself landing. Maybe you're only just landing. And that's okay, sometimes it takes a longer time. And open your eyes. Maybe you feel a sense of your body now in space. Maybe this will help or bring a bit more presence to the balance. It's a bit more interesting. So we're going to do moving, as is our theme, moving and being moved by the breath. So we're going to move with our balance, with the heron balance. So you take the weight onto the left foot, the hands open up, you're lifting the right knee high, lift the arms high, hands come together above the head. We're lifting And then we're turning the arms and taking the hands down and the legs coming down. We're trying to coordinate that as well. So the hands come down just as the toes reach the ground. And we take that right foot into the ground and at the same time lifting the left knee, lifting the arms again. So we're just switching legs one at a time. We're trying to keep, the most important focus is the breath. And we're trying to keep the breath as smooth and even as we can, so that the body is just going to follow that smoothness and evenness. There is dynamic in this, and although it's very soft, there's dynamic because we're lifting with some intensity. We're lifting the knee as high as we can. We're lifting the arms as high as they can go, and lowering down slowly through space. That requires some definite focus of concentration, always the breath. So this time, if you want to add on this extra piece, which I like so much, you can just, as your arms are coming down, we can just extend that leg out, and then the arms come up and we lift the knee again. So this extends the movement. If you want to do that, you can just stay with the original if you wish. Lower that foot's transition, one foot to the other, and at those transition points, breathing in. And breathing out, pushing the foot out, extending the leg. It's the push of the foot that helps the balance as well, that dynamic. Breathing in and breathing out. It's very simple. That balance is assisted by dynamic. So when we make that effort, which feels difficult when we're trying to balance, it feels counterintuitive, but it actually really works. If I'm pushing my heel, making that effort, it helps my balance no end. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more on the other side. So whatever speed you're going, the more important part is that it's steady and even movement. So try and keep this flow. And so we develop this grace and poise in the body. And really practicing this focus, body, brain, everything in harmony. Good. We're going to come into a little squat here. So just coming into a squat. Putting some space between your knees so your body can hang forwards. Letting the body just hang forwards. Let the backs of the hands rest on the ground here, just to get that lovely released feeling. And let the head hang, as if your head's gonna come into your hands. It probably won't, but that's kind of getting that connection, as if the hands are holding the head, letting it hang. Breathe in through the nostrils, sigh out through the mouth. Maybe you can feel your ribs with your thighs here. So see if you can expand those ribs. Release the back of the neck. And then lifting the head, bring the left hand to the center on the ground here. And again, with this feeling of ease and being moved by the breath, the inhale moves the right fingertips to the ceiling. They're extending up there. Give the fingers a little wiggle. And then we're going to rotate that right wrist in clockwise direction, watching it with the eyes. And just imagining it's going higher and higher, climbing higher and higher, breathing in and out. And then we're rotating it in anti-clockwise, and it's coming down and going lower and lower. I'm just really paying attention to our own movement, our own breath, our own body. There's a little bit of fascination that may appear. And the inhale lifts the fingertips of the left hand to the ceiling. Give those fingers a little bit of a wiggle, like a little starshine. And then we're rotating the wrist clockwise to begin, and it's like a little vine. So allow yourself whatever image feels good to you, you know. And rotating in the other direction, anti-clockwise, it's unwinding and returning back to the earth. Yeah, it's had a little journey and it's coming back out, extension and contraction. Push into the hands. Let ourselves hang for a moment with the knees bent in Ragdoll. Let the head go, the neck particularly. Breathe in through nostrils. Sigh out through the mouth. Let's have a little sway here, just to enjoy this little moment of recovery. Have a sway, shifting the weight again from right to left, just enjoying that transition of moving your weight from the left foot to the right. Try and stay fully conscious of how it feels, how the weight shifts, what happens in the body, the impact, the emphasis, different parts of the body.
And then come to a stillness for a second. Breathe in through the nostrils. Imagine now an invisible thread lifting you from the base of the spine. So you're like a little kind of hanging ragdoll puppet. The knees are bent. You're being lifted into life again. And this invisible thread lifting you up through the spine, through the vertebrae, till the chest lifts, the shoulders sit back, the arms sit back, the head lifts, the crown lifts. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. So, moving and breathing still. So moving emotion. Standing tall. We're going to do a little half sun salute here, just a few of these. So hands pressed together at the heart center. Take the heart towards the hands, drop the shoulders back. Think about the position again, the posture is long, feet are sinking into the ground, the crown is reaching to the heavens. So breathe in through the nostrils, a strong breath, very conscious breath, breathing out, pointing the fingers to the ground, looking at the ground. And then we open the hands up. The thumbs go out to the side, we reach up. Inhaling, the hands come together above the head. We look at them, we turn the hands away from each other. The knees bend, the chest is coming forward, we're breathing out and the fingertips are making their way to the ground. Then we look forwards and open the heart up. We take the hands, the legs straighten, the arms straighten, the back is straightened. That's a triangle here. And the hands can be on the knees or just below the knees. And then we breathe out, keeping the legs straight. So we take the hands to the ground. Now bend the knees a lot more than we originally did. So push up through the feet. Inhale, look up. Hands come together and breathe out. That's one cycle. Very simple. As slow as your breath will allow you. Breathing in. It's a strong inhale. It's a slow, steady exhale. The knees bend. The fingertips touch the ground. Looking at the ground, the toes. Now look forwards and open the chest. So we're taking the shoulders back. Straight arms and then forward bend. Straight legs, bend the knees a lot now. As you bend your knees, your face comes forwards and then it wants to lift, your eyes wants to lift up on the inhale and look directly up. So we're changing our perspective, our point of view where we're looking all the time. We look up, inhale. Exhaling, we're looking forwards and then we're looking down. And the whole exhale, fingertips touch the ground. Then we look forwards, inhale, open the chest. And then keep the legs straight, forward bend. Now we're looking down. Bend the knees a lot. Now the eyes go to the ceiling. Fingers go to the ceiling, breath goes to the ceiling, and we breathe out. So we have a different direction. We're moving through space all the time. Be fully aware. Maybe you want to focus on a particular element. Maybe where your eyes are focusing is a good thing to focus on, but always have a good amount of your attention on your breath. Bend the knees a lot, breathing in all the way up. And breathing out, arms come down. We'll do a couple more. Really enjoy this, breathing in. So as we breathe in, really extend the whole body, extend the fingers to the ceiling. And then as you come forwards, bend the knees, you take the chest forward. You have to really keep a strong attention on the belly and the back. Fingertips come to the ground. Inhaling, straighten the back. So again, strong belly. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, look forwards. Breathing out, forward bend. Looking at the big toes, not the knees. Now bend the knees a lot. Breathing in, push up. The power of the legs is going to reach you up. And breathing out, the arms come down. Good. Just last one. Breathing in all the way up. Breathing out, bend the knees, fingertips reach the ground. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's stay here. In forward bend, which, we have the advantage in forward bend of gravity helping us, in the standing forward bend rather, and also the ground. So make sure you have contact with the ground. If it's fingertips, that's fine. If it's blocks on the ground or cushions or books, that's fine. And we're looking at the toes, not the knees or in between the knees. This helps to think about the position of the spine. So another good way of looking at this is thinking about the heart or the sternum, the center here, wanting to make contact with the ground between the toes, between the big toes there. That's the point of focus. It's kind of moving in that direction, and the base of the spine is moving in the opposite direction up to the ceiling. So we get this feeling, a sense of 2 points moving away from each other in space. Yeah. And this way the body becomes like a constellation in our practice. And always points moving away from each other, coming towards each other in space. Good. Allowing ourselves to move and be moved. Now coming up on the fingertips on the inhale, look forwards. Just giving the legs a bit of space. And then as we lower the hands down, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot, a big lunge. Let's see how this lunge feels today. Keeping the hands each side of the left foot. So you have a choice here. If it feels okay for your legs and your groin here, you can keep that knee off the floor. If it feels too much, you can have a little rest, put the knee on the ground. But still you're making some effort here because you're having some stretch here in the groin. But for more stronger sensation, and also to really give a sense of support, the whole leg is active here, pushing the heel back. This thigh is very active. And just allowing the groin to come down to the ground. But supporting that, the hands pushing into the weight is pushing into the floor, so you're supporting that. Now bring the right knee down. And we're going to just come into a crescent moon. So in this kneeling position, don't forget if that feels any sense of pain, we don't want to go into pain, so put a cushion or blankets or roll up the mat underneath that. Inhale, lift the arms up, bring the palms together above the head. Exhaling, taking the hips forward, take the arms back, like this lovely shape, this crescent moon. And taking the arms back, obviously we're getting a lovely, again, expansion in the shoulder, giving that some attention, but also preventing the whole body coming forwards and putting too much weight forwards. So we're trying to keep that even. Expanding, points moving away from each other in space. It's very spacey, cosmic practice. Bringing the hands either side of the left foot, tucking that right toe under, lifting the heel off the heel off the ground. And then we're going to send the left foot back. So we're in a plank. Let's see how the plank feels today. Breathe. Strong body. The chest is above the hands. We don't want the face above the hands or else the bottom's going to be in the air. So we're keeping the body strong. And also have a sense of, if you soften the elbows and try and create space between the shoulder blades, so we're not having the shoulders up around the ears again. And now you can either bring your knees to the ground and lower your body down to the ground, or use strength in the upper body and land. And take the hands, the backs of the arms on the ground, turn your head to rest on one side. Or if you don't feel comfortable like that, you can make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. This is just a way sometimes of bringing some ease to each side of the neck. So we're going to rest on one side to begin. And breathe. Feel your breath. So in this position, you can feel your breath physically. Because most of our breath, we tend to focus on the front of the body, the soft parts. Keeping the front soft, very important. The throat, the heart, the belly, this front of the body, keeping it soft and open. Now we're going to come onto the forehead, back to the arms on the ground here. And we're going to first of all lift the nose, the chin, the chest on the inhale, and breathe out. Then we're going to lift the arms and breathe out. Keep those arms lifted and then lifting the legs off the ground. So we're flying, we're opening the chest, and maybe smiling, smiling a little bit just to ease the tension. One more breath in and lower down. Rest on the other side of the head there, just to even it out. And breathe deeply. Maybe have some releasing breaths here, breathing in through the nostrils. Out through the mouth. Good. Good. And then bend the knees. And if you can, take hold of the tops of the feet with your hands. So reaching your hands back. If your hands don't quite reach both feet, you can have an alternative, which is with the hands on the ground here. So we're going to do a bow. So if you don't reach the feet, don't worry, just place the hands or the palms on the ground there. So I'll show you both versions. If you're holding the feet, that's well done. That's quite a feat. Now you inhale, lift the chest and take the shoulders back This is a real front opener, back and back bend. And then just see if you can get any lift at the knees off the ground. So this is the bow. If you are finding it difficult to reach your feet, you can have your hands on the ground and just lift your chest. We're still in the same position. We just haven't, it's just not as extreme. And you have to work your back quite strongly there. So you can choose which one is appropriate for you today. Breathe. One more breath in. Lower down. So lower down the feet. And then take the hands forward. Around about the face. Push into the hands. Lift the bottom off the ground. And we'll come into a puppy dog here just to get an extra bit of stretch on the back. So rather than letting the hands slide back, we're just letting the bottom slide back. And so we're not, the backside doesn't quite reach the heels here. So this is great for the backs of the shoulders and the spine. And we're just using a bit of gravity. And you decide how far forward you want your hands. You'll find that point where you think, yeah, that's a good kind of, it shouldn't be painful in any way. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. It should feel like a lovely counter stretch, really. And bring some equilibrium, some ease to your spine. And then just let your hands slide back. Bring your forward to the ground. And just rest in extended child for a moment here. Breathe in through the nostrils. Sigh out through the mouth. I was talking about the softness, keeping softness in the front of the body. Soft front, strong back, wild heart, as Brené Brown often reminds us. So to help soften part of the front of the body, and I would say the key areas are the throat and the heart and the belly, is making this sound, breathing into the nostrils, really helps the mouth, lips and tongue, which can get a lot of tension in. And again. Good. One more. Good. So keeping the hands where they are, we're going to come up onto all fours. Let's come into a downward dog. We're going to come into downward dog. This will be the strongest thing we're going to do. So it's before we slow everything down a little bit. So just lifting the knees off the ground, and let's just walk the dog a little bit. So most important here is we're focusing on the spine. So you're pushing back with the hands. You keep the tummy tucked in, and this encourages the back to be long. If we're kind of not, we're breathing here, and we're not getting so much length here in the waist. So you breathe into the chest instead. And now we're just going to kind of give the hamstrings a little bit of movement. Keep the fingers spread wide. Keep the hands engaged with the ground and fingers. Don't let the knuckles lift up. Keep the elbows soft. Keep the shoulder blades moving away from each other. Good. And then just find a still point. And breathe as if your breath is moving in your spine from the crown to the base, moving. Good. And then walk the feet forwards again. Let's have our last little ragdoll here. Let the body hang, knees are bent. Breathe in through the nostrils. Sigh out through the mouth. And just take your hands behind you slightly, or find a way to come into seated. Bounce the knees up and down. Bounce the knees up and down. Find some ease there. Good. So we're going to just take the legs wide here. And you might want to sit on a cushion. You might just want to lift up there. I'm just going to stir up a little bit here just to ease out any bit of tension that might be still there in the spine. So just a very simple little one, and also combine the hummingbird breath just again to create a good vibration in our system. Hands on the knees, very simple. Lift the chest, breathing in. As you breathe out, leaning forward slightly, keeping the back upright, and exhale as you lean back. Exhale, sorry, as you lean forward, and inhale as you go around. Now we're going to bring the hummingbird breath in. So breathe in through the nostrils. On the out breath, we'll make this humming sound.
down to center. Notice how that feels. And if you want to try the other way, if you know, you can close your eyes doing this, but really think about your back being upright and long and the head staying on top of the body. Breathing in. We're going to hum on this, going to the left this time. Just coming to stillness. And bring the knees up, bring the legs together. Take your arms around your body. Hold yourself. Feel your breath in the center of this little seed we're making. You know, it's really feeling it here in the soft parts and in the heart, in the face. Make that little seal. Breathing into the nostrils. Maybe having a little sigh here. Just feeling that little bit of warmth from your breath there. And we're just going to slide the legs away. And we're going to lay the body down. So extend the fingers towards the toes. So a lot of moving, a lot of energy, a lot of breath. We're just going to let that all release now. It's this last bit of dynamic here. Slowly lowering down, bit of abdominal work, and let go everything. Let the arms rest to the side. Maybe have a little bit of a move around on the back. So hug the knees and just rock side to side on the lower back. I like to do this kind of swishing movement. So I'm rocking side to side, and I'm kind of also letting my toes kind of swing from side to side. It just gets even more kind of ease, I find, in the hips. But you can just do a gentle rocking or circling, whichever suits you. Good. And then place the soles of the feet on the ground. And slide the legs away slowly. Let the arms fall away from the body, arms away from the body. Close your eyes. Breathe into your nostrils. Sigh out. Through the mouth. Feel your body supported on the ground. So we're in Shavasana, the corpse posture. Letting go everything. So this idea of Shavasana is coming back, returning to the earth, coming back to the beginning. So we, in our practice, have a sense of that cycle. That's within our yoga practice. And allowing ourselves to be held by the earth. You know, how much do we do that? Trusting. We're just going to let ourselves be still for a few minutes here for a relaxation. So if you need to do a few exhales through the mouth to release yourself down to the ground. It's like there's a lowering, even when you feel like you're lying on the ground, you can kind of sink a little bit lower. You can kind of relax even deeper. Kind of sink into the ground a little bit more. And make the decision to really give yourself to this practice, to this relaxation, particularly if you find that more challenging. You feel you want to leap into action and you feel like, you feel energy. Just notice that. Notice what's happening. Is there still energy in the body? Is there agitation? Is there kind of activity in your mind? Watch that. Watch that. In this way, when we watch everything that's happening, when we close our eyes and lay our body on the ground, the body is comfortable, there are less things for the mind to be distracted by, body discomfort or things in our vision. So we're just helping ourselves and creating the best conditions. Also, if you find you're getting a bit cool, put something over you so that the body is more comfortable. So it's important. And if you need to have your legs elevated up on some furniture or a cushion under your knees, better to be comfortable and give ourselves some advantage as best advantage. And now just let your breath be soft, looking inwards, taking your attention around your body, maybe noticing where the breath is in the body, having a little bit of a journey around your body. Maybe noticing your feet. How does the feet feel? Is there energy in the toes and the feet? What happens when you give a particular part of the body your attention? Maybe you notice that you weren't aware of that part of the body. Notice the legs, how they are. Space the legs occupy, the weight of the legs on the ground, position. The legs are the points of contact the legs make with the ground. The surface of the skin of the legs, how much they are in contact with fabrics and materials, and how much with the air around. Just noticing. So much to notice. The breath is continually coming in and out of the body. You feel the whole back relax on the ground. You feel the breath moving. You feel the torso. Notice the spine. Maybe the spine feels a sense of sinking into the ground. Releasing the tension. So much of pain and discomfort can come from our thoughts, feelings, emotions. So taking time to relax and focus and pay attention to ourselves, to our body, to our thoughts, to our feelings. It's powerful, healing. So acknowledge yourself in this space. Breath is moving, coming in and out of the body. Feeling your head on the ground and the face. Maybe you're feeling a sense of the face softening and relaxing, the eyes behind the eyelids, the mouth softening, and the cheeks and the back of the head supported by the ground, and the brain inside this head softening and becoming more open and pliable. Good. So we are coming to the end of our practice today. We'll come back to the land of the living by stretching and moving your body. Move and be moved. Breathe a little bit. Move your arms and legs. Notice the space around you. Look around you. Look around you. What catches your eye? Notice the light outside. Notice your body. Maybe feel your body. Feel your edges a little bit. Feel your legs and arms, your back, your face, whatever is drawing your attention. And your hands. We'll give them rubbing the backs of the hands, the fingers, and then we rub the palms together. Focusing our attention between the palms and heat and energy between the palms. And then bringing those hands to the heart center and closing your eyes to really bring all of our focus, physical, mental, emotional, to this space. And bring to mind your sankalpa, your intention, a positively framed sentence or an affirmation for yourself, a loving thought for yourself. And say that a few times. Maybe give it a smile for extra energy. Good. Acknowledging that and giving it attention. Namaste. Thank you for your practice today.